Welcome to Whole Home Wednesday. Our mission at the Whole Home Innovation Center is to keep people safe and healthy. Last week we talked about bringing a loved one home from the hospital or a skilled nursing facility. So we talked about getting in and out of the car. Now what happens after you get out of the car? So we've got our two experts, Lisa Campaneri and Sara Bourgeois, and we're going to go through what to do if someone has limited mobility and you're bringing them into the home.
If your loved one happens to have a very low level of mobility, they may very likely come home wheelchair bound. And that could be for a short period of time or unfortunately for an extended period of time. I have here with me Sara, who is very knowledgeable in some equipment that could help us to navigate this curb step to get into the home, perhaps a porch step with a wheelchair.
So we always ask, is this a temporary kind of a situation or more long-term? And sometimes people don't know the answer to that question. If they're in a hurry and they just need to get access in, we might start with something as simple as a suitcase ramp. What that means is it's portable. So in this case, it's made out of graphite. It's very lightweight. If you were going out and about and you needed access to one, maybe two steps, this is a great option. So now you can simply place it down and push a chair up one step.
When you have someone in the wheelchair, it's important to remember that in most cases they're not strapped to the wheelchair. So you always have to think about their safety. Going up forward facing with the wheelchair makes the most sense because going uphill, that pushes the loved one back into the chair and keeps them safely seated. You're just going to align the wheelchair with the target surface. Careful that when you first approach that ramp, you might recognize that the front casters of the wheelchair want to just have a little resistance on that first little lip. It shouldn't take much extra pressure, but if it does feel like you're not getting good continuation, a little pressure here on the back support of the wheelchair would allow those front casters to clear that initial little lip, and up you go, just like so.
So this particular size will not work for two steps. It would make the incline way too steep, and Lisa would never be able to push a person up that slope. So they do make longer suitcase ramps. So we'd have to work with you on how many steps and how much length do we need. If you have a traditional Cincinnati 5-step home, these don't work, so we would talk about other options.
Thank you.
Good to have options. Now when descending on the ramp, it makes sense, believe it or not, to bring your loved one down backwards, with the person exercising the guidance standing at a lower level than the wheelchair. That way, they can use their weight to sort of counterbalance the process and bring that wheelchair down as slow as you mean for it to go. Here's the concern with trying to bring someone down the ramp forward. If you could picture this person sitting in the wheelchair, as I'm coming down the ramp, it's pitching them forward. And then oftentimes when you hit the bottom, these front casters don't always stay straight. Sometimes they swivel, and that can lead to sort of an abrupt stop that you don't expect. And the next thing you know, your loved one would be catapulted out of the seat. So we're always going up the ramp, forward facing, down the ramp, backwards, just so you have more control.
Well, thank you, Lisa, and thank you, Sara. And next week, we're going to talk about what to do if someone's in a walker and how do you navigate the steps then. So thank you. See you next week.
See you next week.